I've got an idea. Mole, what do you got?
I can see in the dark.
We can use that. Rabbit, I'm fast. Badger.
Demolitions expert.
What? Since when?
One of the things that I think is really interesting about the way we made the film is that on the surface, stop-motion animation is a very low-tech process. You take a still picture, then you move the puppet a micro bit of an inch and take another picture. But behind that process, we had to basically have an architecture of technology that was behind all of this. It was actually very cutting edge. Now, when you're shooting on a live-action film, the director can be there in front of the camera with the actors every day of the shoot. In our case, we ended up at certain points in the film with 29, 30 stages shooting at once. There's no way that somebody can be watching 30 things at once. To that end, we brought in these guys, Matthew Kitcat and Fish, who developed a system called FishCap for us.
This is an example of a typical digital stills camera. This is what we shot the film on. We got a typical animation set with puppets posed, ready to shoot. And we have an example of the workstation. We had 35 workstations in total. We've got 2 screens and various tools for the animator to create his animation. Anybody can gain access to the system, even when they're in a foreign country. One of the things that was important with the director not always being here is that he wants to approve the framing of a shot. You can just click on the image, send it to Wes. He can now see that in his flat in Paris or wherever he is, if he's in post-production in London or whatever. He can just get to a computer, get in through the network and see.
I'm bringing you in as my secretary and personal assistant.
Okay.
This is actually kind of a big deal, so don't just say, okay.
Okay, well, thank you.
Wes obviously had his idea of how he wanted the shot to be. So how it sort of worked was he would do these videos of him acting out the script, basically. And sometimes he'd have maybe 5 Weses in the shot, playing out all the different parts.
Anybody see it?
I don't think so.
Here, put this bandit hat on.
These templates of Wes acting out the scenes became a piece of reference that would sit on these animation towers and be there for the animator to follow as a guide.
Woo! This kid's a natural. I'm speechless, Christopherson.
There were 5,229 shots entered for this film. There were 621,450 frames taken. So we were basically generating 120 gigabytes of data a day. Total storage was 18.5 terabytes.
Do you get how incredible this is?
The FishCat system has many sort of elements to it that you can actually add to.
There's a button here, Live to Wes. If you click that, that will then start streaming the live feed that's coming from the camera through to the same network. So he can actually be on the telephone to the director of photography, looking at this live stream, saying, could you move the puppet to the left?
Pure wild animal craziness.